John Izzo, our guest. He is a leadership consultant. He has a degree in psychology. You have a PhD in management, corporate management, Corporate Soul, one of your first books, How to Put Soul into the Corporation. Is it getting better?
I think so, yeah. When I wrote Awakening Corporate Soul in 1994, people said, what are you kidding? Companies don't have souls. You got to give me a break. Now, it's kind of become an accepted idea. Not necessarily the word soul, but the idea that companies can have a conscience, that they can be places of great passion, not just places where we dutifully go through the motions. So I'm proud to say almost 20 years later, I think, in fact, we've come a long way since
Well,
then.
as you know, companies have words on the wall, for sure.
Yeah.
Inspirational words. They have little inspirational seminars, that kind of thing. Doesn't always work.
No, it doesn't. And yet, even here in Vancouver is a great example. There's a tremendous number of growing social entrepreneurs, right here in our city who are really making a big difference and making money. And that's, I think, the transition that's happening is a growing number of people saying they're not contradictory. And of course, I've spent a lifetime trying to feed that movement.
And to help people step up at any level in your personal relationship, say what you're afraid to say in a nice way.
Yeah,
there's always a way to get around it.
Yeah, exactly. To me, stepping up is really about this. The moment I stop saying someone else should, but instead I focus on what I can do, I'm more powerful, I'm happier, and I'm more in control. So when you think about a book about taking responsibility, people probably think of some parental finger wagging at you. I see it as quite the opposite. Whether it's in a relationship and I want more civility and I focus on what I can do to bring it instead of what you're going to do because I can't change you. I'm in a workplace and instead of saying the boss should do something about work-life balance or about morale, I say, I wonder what I can do. Or it's in a society, I'm concerned about global warming or poverty. What can I do? Suddenly I'm powerful because I can't fix anyone else. And so it's not a finger wagging, it's, wow, how powerful I will feel when I stop looking out and instead look in.
Well, the love doctors tell you in personal relationships, if you just quit blaming them and quit saying, he doesn't pick up his socks and he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that and I'm not happy, and just get happy.
Exactly.
Fix yourself, get happy. And somehow it's almost osmosis. He gets happy too.
Yeah, it's that responsibility
happy wife,
ripple.
happy life.
Right. Even that, I get more romantic, I become more civil, the person catches it. I, stop complaining,
It's an
others
energy,
catch
it's
it.
a something. I'm not sure what it is. The popular book you wrote about the 5 things you must discover before you die. I was trying to remember them this morning. And I thought, what were they? Something to do with Einstein or Socrates or something like that.
Yeah, it was an amazing journey, as you know, the 5 secrets you must discover before you die, both a biography channel and PBS TV series and this best-selling book where I interviewed all these people over 60 and asked them for the secrets to life, what they had learned. The 5 secrets: be true to yourself, know who you are, leave no regrets. You won't regret your failures, but you will regret the things you didn't try. Become love, which is not only that relationships are central, but the more we are a loving person, the more love and compassion will find us. The 4th, live the moment. Not live for the moment, live the moment. Be in the now. Stop judging your life. Life is not a contest. Live the life you lived and train your mind for happiness. It's not out there, it's inside, a choice you make. And finally, give more than you take. All these people said to me, look, when I was young, I thought my happiness would come from what I took from the world. By the time I've gotten old, I realized it was from what I gave. Yeah.
No kidding. Dance the dance, live the wonder, all of that. And it's easy to hear. Sometimes it's not so easy to do on those days. And I'm thinking in the stepping up context, you step up again and again, and nobody pays any attention to you. So my mother always said, try again. So I guess that's the answer, but what do you say the answer is?
Well, one of the people I interviewed for the book, and you can see it on our website too, steppingupforchange.com, you can actually see a video of their story and Rex and the whale hunt and those things. Not the whale hunt, stopping the whale hunt.
Yes,
but sorry, Rex. But an interesting thing is these 3 women from Colorado, one is actually on Cortez Island, who started Bead for Life, an organization that has helped thousands of women get out of poverty. And what I love about that is when I interviewed Devin Hibbert, and it all began because 3 women visited a refugee camp, bought beads from a woman, came back and started having bead parties, and ultimately now have helped 8,000 women begin their own businesses. But I love what Devin Hibbert said. She said, there's a lot of faith and perseverance that's required when you step up. Bead for Life took several years to take off. Ken Lotier from United We Can, you know, he did a march, you know, where he had all these folks the homeless bring bottles that couldn't be recycled, but it was 4 years before the provincial government fulfilled the promise they made to expand the recycling program. He fought for a bottle depot that would employ homeless people and street people in Vancouver for 5 or 6 years before accomplishing that. So don't give up so quickly when you step up. Almost these stories in the book will remind you. And the Starbucks Frappuccino, months of bugging their manager before finally people said,
and make
you
a
know,
new plan.
listen.
And you say you don't necessarily have to make a plan, but you can go around it. And I love that about the book, where you say you don't have to have a plan to just step up and do something. You so don't. Just do something. Do anything. But it's so easy to stay in the pack and to stay in the line and to not think it's your job.
It really is, you know, and again, I don't think it's so much that we're trying to shirk our responsibility. I really think the root of it is we don't know how powerful we are. That's why I tried to say, look at these ordinary people, just like you and I, who created extraordinary change. And by the way, you may not create the next United We Can or Bead for Life or stop the whale hunt. But you know, the people who wrote those letters were as important in stopping the whale hunt as the Greenpeace folks. The folks who had the bead parties are as important as the 3 women who started it. And the person who picks up a piece of garbage from going in the storm drain will save the oceans just as much as the big company that recycles. So you may do something big, but it always begins with a small act that somehow, if you're lucky, becomes big, but you don't intend to do something big. You intend to just do something to get started.
Just do something.
Yeah.
I thank you. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Great to see you
Thank
again.
you. Stepping Up, How Taking Responsibility Changes Everything, John Izzo. And come